And we're live. Welcome back, Shifties. Welcome back to Shift the Journey. I'm your host, Tito Amogus, where we get to talk about career paths and career journeys. And today we're on episode two with Andy. We got to talking so long last time and didn't even realize, we were just catching up. So, anybody out there watching on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, if you got something to say, say it. Put something in the chat. I would love this for this to be interactive. It's this is a pretty chill conversation, and don't feel like what you have to say just isn't worth being said,
Yeah.
unless you're gonna say something like really weird. My mom watches this. Don't say anything weird. All right. All right. Without further ado, let's welcome Andy back to the broadcast. Yay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I spent too much time talking last time, so we didn't get through everything. So
Yeah. Well, your career is like, you've taken a lot of twists and turns. I think the last thing that we were talking about, well, first off, let's do a recap real quick.
Mhm.
Andy's been involved in film and or film production, TV and film production, right?
Yep.
Um, Animation. If you've ever heard of Talking Tomatoes and and Cucumbers with Capes,
Yeah,
um,
that's right.
Andy's your guy. And so
VeggieTales.
yeah, and so you moved around quite a bit. You moved from the Chicago area where you're originally from, which is why you like snow so much.
That's
You
right.
moved
Love
to
snow.
Nashville, where it didn't snow as much in Nashville, but when it did, I knew you would be excited every time it snowed,
Yes. Yep.
and that's where we met. But then there was some things that were happening, like during like economic slowdowns, and then like buyouts and stuff. I remember, I think the last time that we hung out, we were, I think you came up to our house in Pleasant View and we were playing Catan, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, I just let out my whole nerd right there in a whole sentence. Hey everybody, I play Catan. I love Catan. Who
Yeah.
cares? So and then you guys got bought out by somebody, and so then you have like some uncertainties there.
Yeah. Was that because I mean that's such a common story with so many businesses. Was that still with VeggieTale stuff, or are you thinking
I
a
don't know.
different?
It
Okay.
was Comcast, I thought, bought everything
Oh,
out.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
I thought this would be pertinent because with
Yes.
the way that the economy has been going for the last, I don't know how long it's been, 4 or 5 years. I've seen so many people get laid off. There are buyouts. There are other things that are happening. Um, you know, I want to hear like how you navigated that whole
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's go back to this would have been before the Comcast thing, but the 2007 to 9 recession.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
bubble
because
burst.
all the VeggieTale stuff was before that, and like many companies all over the place in any work industry, that recession uh, caused a lot of changes and layoffs, and in animation and effects, a lot of studios closed during that time. A lot just laid a lot of people off. A lot changed about how a lot of studios do business,
Mm,
and so yeah, I was affected during that time. Not right away, but
mhm.
I think in 2009, end of 2009 is when it affected me. And man, I'll tell you, I was so naive about how long it would take me to get another job in production because things slowed down a lot in Nashville. So I really underestimated how much of that impact would affect me. I
Yeah.
knew that I was a really good worker and a really hard worker, and and had a lot of encouragement from other people. I think a lot of people underestimated that during that time. But
Hmm.
yeah, like I didn't think it would be long at all before I found another good job that I loved and had to do with either animation or getting back into live action stuff. And here or there, I got some freelance gigs around Chicago, but not long ones or ongoing ones. It was like,
Hmm.
you know, a week or a weekend here, a week or a weekend there. Um, and we talked just a little bit about the Taekwondo stuff last
Yeah.
time. The Taekwondo Academy where I was taking classes,
Hmm.
the owner and um, the master instructor there knew that work was slow for me, so he asked me if I would start working at the academy there, and I was able to kind of shift my hours so that if I had a freelance gig, I would make time for that. And
Yeah.
on the weeks where that wasn't going on, I could work more at the Taekwondo Academy. And
So
that's, yeah.
were you teaching classes or doing like one-on-one training?
Eventually, I was teaching classes. Yeah, I started
Okay.
out just at the front desk, tracking belt rankings and ceremonies and testings and checking people in and stocking, doing looking at what equipment, sparring gear, or
Yeah.
belts or uniforms needed to be ordered, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And
So
then
yeah.
eventually, they had me shadow some of the beginners classes and help teach those, and then shadow some of the kids classes. And really quick, they had me in there as a instructor. By this
Okay.
point, I I was an advanced student,
Mhm.
and so I had been through all those beginning
Yeah.
classes.
So I got a question. If
Yeah,
you're working admin stuff at a Taekwondo
yeah.
dojo, do you show up to your admin desk job in your gi?
Um, not so I usually had the bottoms on, but I could wear a t-shirt
Oh, okay.
for the top part. Once I started instructing, I
Oh
would kind of
yeah,
be going back and
definitely.
forth, and so
Yeah.
then I had it on. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But no, I mean, that wouldn't be that wouldn't be like a taekwondo requirement
Yeah.
for
Well, I didn't
anyone.
know if like maybe your
Else.
boss was like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And you say,
Yeah,
"Sure, let me knock it out."
right,
But,
right, yeah.
sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, so then you were able to get some work. That's awesome. You
yeah.
had somebody
I
that
also started.
set you up there.
I started substitute teaching
Oh yeah, yeah.
For Nashville Public
What
Schools,
grades?
kindergarten through high school.
Oh man, the whole gamut. That's crazy. What was
Kindergarten
your
through high school.
what was your favorite age group
My
grade?
favorite was Sylvan Park Elementary. I had a great relationship with them, and they had me in as a pretty regular art teacher.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it got to the point where the art teacher there, when she booked me, she would just let me come up with the curriculum that day. She wouldn't even like we had a trust and yeah, she always left me good instructions from the get-go. But then after finding out a little bit what I did, she was like, you just come up with something for the kids. And so I would make up the curriculum for a day as the
That's
different
so cool.
elementary school classes came in and out. And so yeah, that elementary school was great. I enjoyed it over there. I I really enjoyed the art and music classes when I got to sub for those.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say in general, I enjoyed elementary school the most.
Hmm.
Second to that, I did enjoy high school. Middle school is hard.
That's everybody says that.
Middle school
Yeah.
students, like high school students, I had a good rapport with, and then I had a great rapport with the younger kids
Yeah.
and enjoyed their classes. Man, middle school, they're the ones that put you through the ringer. Middle school
Yeah.
is so much harder than high school, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Yep. I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that. So you were able to get in some work during that recession.
Yes.
What was the launching pad to get back into production
Yeah.
from there?
Yeah. So it was slow for a number of years and then got a little busier and busier with actual production, freelance work. Uh, some of uh, some of my church friends at Crosspoint worked in video fields, and networking with them got me
Yeah.
some freelance gigs in there. Um, uh, uh, there were a couple short term animation freelance gigs I did, and then some live action ones here and there. But eventually, as the VeggieTales studio, who I used to work with, they were down to a very small group of full timers.
Hmm.
They got me plugged in with doing some freelance again, and
Okay.
then they got bought out.
Hmm.
Again, they had already been bought out twice. I told you about that
Yeah.
last time because they were bought out by Classic Media, and then a company called Entertainment Rights. They got bought back by Classic Media, and then all of Classic Media got bought by DreamWorks, and DreamWorks Animation ended up with
Oh.
everything in Classic Media's library, which is tons of stuff. Classic Media just, I mean, they were in the business of buying up copyrights of tons of cartoons.
Oh.
Some still producing stuff, some that were just from
What
decades
are
past. And
what are some that might the like people
uh,
might be
I
aware
mean,
of?
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
What? Let me
Uh,
take a rabbit out of my hat.
yeah, yes, yeah. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Sherman and Peabody,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
or Peabody and Sherman. I forget which
Yeah.
name was first.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's familiar, but not familiar enough to me to know which
yeah,
one came first.
yeah. Mighty Mouse.
No way.
Yeah,
He was my favorite.
a bunch of European cartoon shows that I wasn't even familiar with.
Wow.
Postman Pat. I think anyone from the UK will know what that is.
Okay.
Barbie,
Wow.
and then for a period of time, the He-Man and She-Ra cartoons
Wow.
were part of that library. So and so yeah, and VeggieTales was under that umbrella for a bit, and then DreamWorks bought all of that. They
Wow.
bought all of those copyrights and that library, including VeggieTales.
Mhm.
And DreamWorks did a revamp of VeggieTales for Netflix, which people were all over the place on that. Some people loved that. Some old school VeggieTales fans hated it because it was a little bit different. I mean, a lot of the voice talent and the faith aspect was still there,
Yeah.
but it was a different feel. They
Yeah.
updated it more to the styles of Netflix or more contemporary cartoons. And um, yeah, thanks,
Oh,
Jeremy.
yeah, Jeremy
Titles.
knows his stuff.
Yeah. Um,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So the DreamWorks showrunner on the new Netflix uh, on the new Netflix revamp uh, At one point, he was saying, at one point, they thought they weren't going to go with anybody from the old company. It was going to be
Oh,
all new people, which I think would have been a mistake. They
yeah.
ended up doing a blend of some old, some new, and I happen to be one of the old school crew that they brought over into the new DreamWorks one.
So in the DreamWorks productions,
Yeah.
did you do any of the voicing in that?
No, because
Oh,
once it went into DreamWorks, it was all union
oh,
for the voice for the performance for the voice work. It was all union
okay.
actors, so wasn't an option for me to jump in the record booth anymore at that point.
Oh,
I did some
that's sad.
scratch lines. I did some temporary scratch lines, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
like before they get the voiceover performers to do the final voices, just the any scratch that needs to get into animation and the edits.
So
I
it's
did
like
some of that
a voice reference for the animations?
that will get replaced later.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I did some scratch for Larry Boy actually.
Re I
When
think you can actually be Larry Boy.
no, no, I couldn't get it down quite like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but good
no,
enough
I
for scratch.
yeah, I mean, from the, like, cartoons that I grew up watching, I remember there was a change in somebody was, voicing, and,
Mhm.
like, people there was, like, this big uproar, "Ah, it's not the same," and
Yeah,
so it's, like, this thing, like, where your brain really connects to that other person's voice, so even I get it. Even if you
yeah.
could, like, emulate Larry Boy, you would never be Larry Boy.
Right. Right. Well, what happened was like all the lead VeggieTale character. Let me rephrase this because here's where the complaints came.
Oh, okay.
The lead male VeggieTales characters were the same voice talent. Some of the secondary male characters, and then I think all of the female characters were recast with amazing talent, like big names and cartoons, but it
Mhm.
was different. It was very different. And it
Oh.
was Rob Paulson and Tress McNeil who were all over Animaniacs. They were some of the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, and amazing at what they did.
Bringing back all these memories.
Yes, yes,
Oh, man.
amazing.
Yakko,
And
Wacko, and Dot.
I got to prep some of their lines, and I wasn't usually in their sessions, but every now and then I got to like jump in if they needed additional information for how something was going to be used or edited together or something. And so a couple times I went in
Cool,
there,
man.
and they were really fast at improv.
Oh.
I remember one of my favorite memories is I jumped into the room to answer some questions, and in the voices of the Animaniacs, they made up a song about Andy on the spot. Like I could sing it,
That's
and I was
awesome,
like,
man.
Did you rehearse that?" And they're like, "Oh no, we're just riffing."
Oh, that's crazy, man. What an
um,
experience. That's so cool.
yeah,
You're the
yeah,
Animaniacs.
yeah. Um, so yeah, no, and I really enjoyed working on that. But yes, I mean, because of those little differences, there were differences in the VeggieTales eyes. There were differences in their voices, and every little
Oh.
difference, people freaked out and were like, "That's not the Bob and Larry I grew up with." And
Oh, yeah.
so
Nothing will, like, really set people off the more than you take something that they're super familiar with and have, like, lots of memories about,
yeah.
and then you just change one thing. I mean, I remember one time Angela changed the, the arrangement of the chairs in our church. People
Uh
were
oh.
livid.
Uh oh.
Yeah, long story, but, like, people had been sitting in the same spot
Yeah.
for like 20 years. They're like, they took our chairs away. Yeah, I mean,
And she didn't
people
make,
get used to routine,
but she didn't make an update like change pews into regular chairs, did she?
No, they were already
Those are the
chairs.
people. Those are the
Oh,
people.
yes, those are the people. It's like, what happened to the carpet? Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yes. The carpeting, the chair changes.
yeah, yeah, so then like when you have a fan base like that,
Mhm.
that people grew up with Veggie
Yeah,
Tales, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden you change. Why'd you change the eyebrows? It's the
right,
angry eyebrows now.
right. The eyebrows or we gave them colored pupils, which felt like a upgrade. And
Uh-huh.
people didn't like it because they were so used to VeggieTales having black and white eyes.
That
Just
is the smallest things,
or I
the
guess
smallest
their
things.
pupils, we gave them colored irises. That
Yeah,
that that was one of the freak out
that's
moments.
hilarious, man. So how long were you under DreamWorks?
Yeah, um so their version of VeggieTales was 3 years. It was three production seasons, but that started a like a really great 10-year relationship with DreamWorks, sometimes as one of their staff members, and
Mhm.
sometimes as on staff with a partner company that worked with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What years were we in that small group together? Was that
Oh,
around
man. 20
like 2017?
2018.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that leads to, I want to say it was either 2016 or 2017. No, I think 2016.
Mhm.
DreamWorks got bought out by Comcast. And this
Oh,
is
it
what
was
you
2016,
remember.
2017. Yeah, yeah, okay. Mhm.
Yes. Yes. DreamWorks was bought by Comcast, and it got rolled into that whole umbrella of Comcast, NBC, Universal, DreamWorks, whatever else they
Yeah.
Illumination they owned. So yeah, it got worked into that whole conglomeration, and lot of internal mixed feelings about that. Like,
Mhm.
um, yeah, it definitely changed some things. There were a number of layoffs at DreamWorks,
Yeah.
working through redundancies in different companies and how they
Mhm.
wanted to, what roles they wanted to keep at DreamWorks versus Comcast versus NBC Universal. And um, so, yeah, that didn't. I was still on that VeggieTales project during that time. It didn't. I don't think it affected anyone in our team, especially the Nashville team.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, there was some shakeup at the DreamWorks main campus. A lot of their satellite studios closed at that point. So
Wow.
that's where the big Comcast buyout happened that you're remembering
Yeah.
there.
So how quickly I've been part of something like this, but like
Yeah.
in your experience, how quickly did the culture shift from what it was before to something
Right.
completely new?
Yeah. Any meeting and again, so I mean, we were at the Nashville campus. Anytime there was a all company meeting or town hall or something, we remoted into a video feed to the Burbank or Glendale campus for that.
Mhm.
Um, as far as meetings go with the company heads, it was immediate. Like everything felt different from that first
Mm.
meeting. Uh, up to that point, if there was an all company meeting or town hall, it was Jeffrey Katzenberg that was speaking. And he's a really exciting guy that lives a really exciting life with a lot of really exciting projects and meetings going on. And so he would talk about, his adventures and meetings with other studios or creatives around the world, and talk about what was going on at DreamWorks. And it always felt really exciting. We would get to see clips of whatever movies or other shows that were in production, and they would do Q&As, and yeah, so it was kind of fun. And yeah, then it became much more of a corporate feeling,
Wow.
logging into a corporate meeting, and very monotone voice.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Not many creative stories. It was all more
Yeah.
business and
Oh
numbers,
man.
and dollar amounts, which, I mean, obviously that's important. It's
Yes.
just usually that wasn't what our ears were filled with when we logged into a meeting up until that. And
Yeah.
so yeah, the meetings got a little more boring for those of
Yeah.
us that wanted to hear more about the cartoons.
Yeah.
Or Jeffrey's adventures wherever he was that week around the world. And
That's funny.
um, yeah,
So,
yeah. In terms of like daily culture,
mhm,
what we were doing in Nashville didn't change a whole lot. I mean, we
yeah.
were we were working on a show. We continued working on that show. There wasn't any kind of a upheaval on our specific show or
Mhm,
anything. But for a while there, where initially it felt like there were a lot of opportunities to move on to other projects right after
mhm,
that. And then, after that buyout, they were closing satellite studios, and rolling certain work in between existing departments, and didn't know if staying with DreamWorks was going to be an option or not. So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, my supervisor, now I had my local supervisors in Nashville that I really enjoyed. And then my supervisor in LA, because I was a post supervisor. I started in that role as a post production coordinator,
Mhm,
and after a few months, they promoted me to be a post supervisor, and loved that job. It was I had been doing post in
mhm,
freelance up until that point. I
yeah.
had started focusing on posts, but then kind of the DreamWorks method was. I remember looking at the schedule after I got the job, and I was like, "Oh my god, what am I going to be able to keep up with this?" Because it was anything I did, it was like that on steroids, and it was
No.
very intimidating. But I mean, once you got into it,
Yeah.
I felt right at home with it. I really enjoyed it, and became a supervisor with it. My supervisor Austin out at the LA campus, I kept in close touch with her,
Mhm,
and she started talking to me about if I was willing to move from Nashville or not. And
mhm,
um, and I had already I I forget if we talked in part one of this interview about how Nashville has been a city where they have a fair amount of production there, but
mhm,
animation has ebbed and flowed through the years. There's years
mhm,
where there's been a lot more going on there, and years where there's not that much. And there wasn't a lot going on there, and so
mhm,
I was very open to moving, and figured that post the VP of post at DreamWorks would want to talk to me about moving out to LA, because she
yeah.
she asked, "Are you open to a move? We've got some positions coming up," and didn't want to discuss details right away, but a few months later did, and so had this meeting with her, and was fully expecting it to be a conversation about moving out to LA. And she said, "So, how do you feel about Canada?" And that was not what I expected to hear at all.
Well,
Uh,
it snows more in Canada than LA, I'll tell you that from personal experience. So, uh, you were probably like, "Oh."
that crossed my mind, but but you know, after moving up here, I live in Vancouver, which is pretty
Yeah.
close to the US
Oh, yeah,
border.
yeah.
It's not far enough north for all that Canadian snow. So
No
we get,
way.
yeah,
I have an aunt there, and every time it snows, she sends pictures, she puts pictures on Facebook, and then she's like, "Oh, we got this much snow," and she's always showing, like, this, table, like, her patio furniture, and
yeah.
there's, like, all this snow on it, so I don't know. I was like, "Oh, it must be snowing there
Does
a
she
lot."
live in the city of Vancouver or north where the elevation starts
Man,
going up?
I don't know specifics.
Because
I
just
haven't seen her since I was, like, 5,
okay.
so I don't know.
Because just north of Vancouver, you've got the mountains and they get plenty of snow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But down in the city of Vancouver and surrounding areas, um, it's similar to Nashville, where
Oh,
you get like a week of snow and everybody freaks out and things shut down, and then
really?
4 or 5 days later, it's all gone. It's
Man,
like that, if not the same day. And
that's crazy. That's
so
nuts, man.
So
Wow.
yeah, that was my first disappointment about moving up here. Is I moved up here and I'm like, yeah, I'm finally moving somewhere with more snow than Nashville. And everyone here was like, hate to break it to you, Andy, but you're in the wrong part of Canada.
That's funny. That's the more temperate part of Canada,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
I've been to Vancouver. I wanna say that I went there, like, early high school. We had, like, a vacation. We flew into Portland, and then we drove to Seattle, and then drove up to Vancouver, went to Victoria, which is in Vancouver Island, right?
Yeah. I still haven't
Yeah.
made it over there. I need to.
All I remember is it was beautiful. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is beautiful."
Yeah.
And everybody talked a little bit different, a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Um,
so did they move you? Did they pay your relocation expenses?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they
wow.
did. They did. Yeah, and so what happened is it turned out that DreamWorks was partnering with a studio here in Vancouver called Doberman Pictures. Uh,
Yes.
DreamWorks
I
actually
remember that.
partners with numerous studios up
Yeah.
here. And Vancouver is a film and TV and animation city, has been for a long time. They call it Little Hollywood, and
Yeah.
in general, I knew that. I mean, even when I was working in Nashville, we we uh, we were constantly in meetings with partner studios in Vancouver. So this was a newer one, Doberman Pictures, and Doberman was for I think it was for their first 5 years. A They had a exclusivity deal with DreamWorks, so
Okay.
they were a full time DreamWorks partner studio working on DreamWorks animated series. Initially just for Netflix, but then additionally some for Peacock and YouTube as well.
So
Uh,
what are the, like, series and,
yeah,
titles that we would know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, most of these are preschool kid series, but
Yeah.
Rhyme Time Town, Not Quite Narwhal, which was a big
Oh,
one.
wait,
That's
yeah, I remember
that's
that.
based on a kid's book that did really well. I think now they have 3 or 4 books in that series, but really cute kids book, and made for a great Netflix series that they had
Mhm.
2 seasons of. And then we did one called Mighty Monster Wheelies. That was they built into DreamWorks and Universal being part of the same
Oh,
company now,
yeah.
and that was a mashup between the Universal monsters,
Oh,
Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman,
yeah.
Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, Creature of the Black Lagoon, Bride of Frankenstein, and then but then a mashup for preschool kids where they were all emergency vehicles. So they were all like fire trucks, emergencies,
Oh, that's so cool.
a helicopter, motorcycle, and so yeah, it was this fun series that was a mashup of a friendly version of the Universal monsters as kind of superhero cars.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And then we also worked on you remember the old DreamWorks movie Megamind, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spiders.
We 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 worked on, now this was for the streaming service Peacock, but we did a sequel to Megamind that was on there.
Oh,
Doberman Pictures worked on both that feature length sequel as well as a series, a full season of episodes of Megamind Rules.
man,
Yeah, yeah. So
that's
that
cool.
was fun. That was
That's
fun.
cool. Hey, I have a question, and it requires your expertise. Okay, so here
Uh oh.
recently there have been some things I've been seeing on social media where somebody does these fun things in the office, right? They ask a question, and then if you believe the answer is this, then you like put a mark here. If you believe the answer is this, you put a mark here. And somebody asked this question, and there was great debate in the comments, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this is not the same production company, but with you being in cartoons, you know, you probably have an answer of your own. Lightning McQueen, does he get car insurance or does he get health insurance? It was really hard for me. I couldn't. I was like,
Wow. I love that movie. I've never heard that question. Um,
I mean,
I could see a debate either way. I mean, in that world, if you wanted to go more the logical explanation, I would say life insurance, but
like health insurance.
yeah, health insurance.
Yeah.
But in terms of what would Pixar do for a kids cartoon, what would make the funnier joke there? Um, I
I,
would I would think that the so yeah, I think just me personally, I
yeah.
would probably lean more towards health insurance.
Health insurance. That's what I said.
Yeah,
Oh man. So
that's where I
I
would
think you
lean.
should do that. I think you should do that like, you know, with your coworkers. Put up that thing and see how many people vote on either
Right,
side. And I want to
right.
see. I'm just curious. I'll follow up with you next week.
Okay,
I
all right.
want to
That sounds
know
good.
like what people who are in the industry feel
Yeah.
about that.
Um, but you know what? If Pixar were to do that joke, I'll bet that they'd find a clever way to reference both in the same joke. Like
Oh
maybe
yeah.
I'll bet they would make a joke about health insurance, but then they'd go to some of the forums and it would all be car insurance
Yeah.
terms or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They would do a nod to both, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Always thought that was so creative when people do things like that. One of my favorite cartoons as a kid was the family of cars, and then the baby was born. He was like a hot rod,
Oh,
and the
right.
dad the dad was like, "Hey, you can't be doing all that stuff," and he's
Oh,
like, "Ah,
gosh.
you're going all over the place." Yeah,
I haven't
do you
thought
remember
about
that?
that. Oh, yeah, so well. So
Yeah,
well. Was that part of Looney Tunes or what?
I think so. I think so. Yeah. The dad was like, I don't know. He's like an Oldsmobile or something. He was just kind of, older, classic, kind of chill. And then the son comes out, and I thought he had like a race flag on him,
I think
but
so.
it was,
I loved that, and I haven't.
yeah.
You've unlocked a
Oh,
great.
there you go.
I need to go. I need to go searching for that on YouTube now
There
and
you
watch it
go.
for
Yeah.
old
There you
times'
go.
sake. Yeah,
Oh man.
I like
So,
that one.
how long you've been in Canada now? Seems like
Um, it. Gosh. I just hit 7 years.
Oh yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
I know that you've been there a while because you've gone native, you put the U back in favor, put the E at the end of center. I'm like, "What is happening?" Andy, there's a U in color. Oh man, anytime I see the U and it's like, "Oh, that's got to be Andy." Got to be Andy.
Or neighbor.
Neighbor. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
another one.
Um,
So
but I
crazy.
still don't pronounce Z as Z.
Zed.
I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah, that's something. That's
That's still
something.
that one's still really weird to me.
So what are some culture shocks that you experienced moving to Canada? People don't think that there would be culture shocks, but I think city to city in America there's culture shocks. So why wouldn't there
Right.
be culture shocks
Oh
moving
gosh.
to Canada?
I mean, Zed was one of them for
I'd
me.
be like, "I'm sorry, what?"
I Yeah, and then learning that I think the like they I thought people were joking at first. I didn't know. I knew that it was used I knew it was used somewhere, but I didn't realize that full countries used the word Z for Z.
Yeah.
And it turns out the US is the
The
only
only
English
one.
speaking country that says Z.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they changed it, but it might be so that the alphabet song rhymes when you say um, W, X, Y, and Z. Next time, won't you sing with me? Because
Oh yeah.
Z and Z don't rhyme.
W X Y and Z. Next time,
um,
won't you sing with Ned? I don't know. That's funny. That's interesting. Huh.
you know what's really funny is there's certain commercials that have a US version and a Canadian version.
Really?
And so depending on what channel I have on, if I've got regular TV on, where I'll hear both, like uh, Activia yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they have one that the English version ends from A to Z, but then if you catch the Canadian version, it's from A to Z, and it's the same voiceover. That's the only thing different.
That's so funny.
Um, Gosh, what are some of the other ones? I know some other ones really threw me. Um, some of my friends and I started a group text with some Nashville friends called Andy's Canadian Facts. And just randomly, as I learned about
Oh, that's
things that
great.
were
Yeah.
different between Canadian culture and US culture, I would send them something. But it's no like huge shocking things. It's just
Yeah.
little things here and there that are a little
Mhm.
bit different.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I wish I'd given this some thought because there's so
Oh,
now
man.
that you've put
Well,
me on the spot. I don't know where
this
to go.
you get some of the best I
Oh,
get some of the best answers when people feel like they're under pressure. They just, like,
yeah,
blurt something out. Maybe it's not relevant. Sometimes it's like, "Oh, I can't believe you said that on a live broadcast, no less." But,
right.
sometimes people just, give the first thing that comes off the top of their head.
Oh, I did learn about a new one this past month.
What's that?
There's something up here referred to as no fault, no cause, I think. I might have that wrong. But I mean, actually, speaking of car insurance that we
Oh
were
yeah, yeah.
with car accidents. If two cars get in a collision, um, 50%, uh, like there's no questions about who's at fault. It's 50% both parties.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I used to
Yeah,
work
there's
in
like there's no
insurance.
negotiation or investigation. It's just
That's nuts.
50% both parties. I'm sure
Whoa.
there's like I'm sure there's little specifics and fine print that of how that all works. It may not be as simple as that. I sh- I mean, I have a car and I'm driving up here. I probably ought to know that. Thankfully, I
Yeah,
haven't gotten in any wrecks or anything, but I do need to look that up and just see how it works because I didn't
that's
realize that.
crazy, man.
My neighbor told me that about a month ago, and I'm like, no, you're like, what do you mean? You're kidding, right?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty nuts, man. That's
Yeah.
it's so when I worked in car insurance, there were the company I worked for wrote policies in like 48 states. And
Hmm.
the reason why I didn't write policies in those two other states is because of the insurance laws. So, insurance laws across the United States are different depending on what state you're in. It's
Yeah,
the state that
totally.
regulates.
Absolutely.
And so there's one, I want to say they didn't write in Michigan
Hmm.
because Michigan has like unlimited PIP, which is there's no cap on and this is not Gen Z no cap, different kind of there is no literal cap, not this is not a lie, but there is no literal cap on how much you're liable for when it comes to if you're at fault in an accident and somebody gets hurt, there's no limit as to how much they will they will be able to get from your insurance company toward their medical. Whereas, like, you know, anywhere else, you buy a policy and it's capped out at, whatever, 50,000
Right,
or
right.
30,000, whatever you're paying
Yeah.
for. And if they need more or they want more from you, they're going to have to sue you or sue the insurance company. But in Michigan, at the time, I don't know, it could be different now, but in Michigan, it was no cap PIP. So then they just personal injury protection, I think is what I don't remember. It's
Okay.
been a long time. But
Well, and
yeah, so
that no fault, no cause thing, it up here, it may be by the province. So it's definitely like that
oh
here
yeah.
in British
Okay.
Columbia. It might be
Mhm.
different in different provinces. I'm not
So
sure.
I'm guessing you've met people from different provinces. Are they different? Can you tell that they're not from Vancouver? I mean, from British Columbia, BC?
I mean, just like in the States, there's different dialects, so you
Oh
can
yeah,
you
yeah.
can kind of hear a different dialect in their or accent. Um, Other than that, though, no, not without talking to them and yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I would say it's more the accents, or just you know what they talk about in terms of um, climate. If they're talking about living somewhere more snowy, it's probably not Vancouver.
Yeah. Wow, that just like completely shattered my
Yeah.
sh- shattered what I thought Vancouver was like. Well, all
But you
righty.
drive an hour north and you've got plenty of snow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so close. It's there when you want it.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
then you
Great,
gotta bring
great skiing. Great
then you
skiing.
gotta bring bear spray with you, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're going hiking off the main trails, you should
Like
bring something like
that's
that.
some big animals. That's some
Yeah,
big animals.
yeah.
So let's see, what is Kermit doing hanging from the what is that, the Tower of Eternia?
Yeah. He's joining the fight. Joining the fight. The
So
question um, is he helping out He-Man or does Skeletor have him under some dark powers to swipe He-Man out of the air there?
So, our we watched Master of the Universe the other day, and I'm sure,
The
like,
movie? The new
yeah,
movie?
and I hadn't seen anything in so long, and I'm sure that I missed like a whole bunch of like references and this and that.
Yeah,
If did you watch it? How many times did you watch it? Is the
3,
better question. Yeah, I
3.
knew it. I knew it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, we gotta watch it before I talk with Andy next time because, you know. So, is there anything about it that you're like, oh, that's so far off, like the original intent of that, or
You know, I think so. I am very accepting of reinterpretations
oh,
of
okay,
things.
yeah,
Uh,
artistic license.
so I mean, I think probably the biggest difference in there. I mean, some characters died, which is so different from the original cartoons. So yeah, characters that have very much an ongoing relationship through the stories, if you're used to the older ones, don't have much time together
Yeah,
in the new one, which is different.
yeah.
um uh in terms of, without spoiling anything for anyone who,
Right.
in terms of which people do or don't know that Prince Adam turns into He-Man, that's pretty different.
It's so funny. I'm like,
Um,
how do you not know? Like, other than he's not wearing the pink smock or whatever. I don't get it.
you know what? I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah,
And yeah, there's certain little things in there that I can definitely maybe pick apart a little bit and
yeah,
say, I'm not crazy about this specific decision or this performance or something like that. But
yeah.
overall, I had such a good time. I loved it. I
So
loved seeing them bring it to screen and
that's
enjoyed
cool.
the story and enjoyed all the little inside jokes and
Yeah,
nods and homages that they paid in there. Yeah.
yeah. Do you ever find yourself watching a film or a cartoon or something, and then like trying to turn off whatever it is inside you that's like working, like, oh, they shouldn't have done it this way, they should
Oh
have
yeah.
done it that
Yeah. Totally.
way.
Totally. Although the first time I saw this movie, I was able to turn that off and just sit back
Oh,
and
that's good.
enjoy it on the
Yeah.
ride. But yes, I um if there's sloppy editing in there,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm not talking about, I mean, look, if you look at any movie close enough, there might be places where an action doesn't hook up exactly across a shot. I'm not talking about little things, because little things are, you do have to take all this footage and make a movie that fits within a certain runtime. But I'm talking about like really sloppy mistakes or errors or something.
Like the
Uh,
boom mic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time turning a eye, because immediately I get,
Yeah.
because I mean, so often I'm looking at stuff that we're working on and helping to figure out notes or QC something and see if there's something wrong there. And
Mhm.
um, so my eye is like really in tune to seeing something, even if it just pops for one frame. Yeah, I'm drawn to that.
Yeah. Yeah, for the same reason, I can't objectively sit through movies that have to do with Air Force stuff. Like
Oh,
aircraft, I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh,"
I'll bet.
that's that's ridiculous, or
Right.
yeah, and so Angel was like, "Hey, just enjoy it." I can't! What
Yeah,
is that?
yeah, yeah. No, no, right. And don't really know anything in detail about military or Air Force
Yeah.
details, so I wouldn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
I did live with 3 aviation majors at one point
Oh
of
wow.
college,
Yeah.
and it was like that with them with any movie with planes.
Yeah.
They
Of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
We'd be in the theater, and then a couple of them would just crack up laughing at something, and so they must have gotten something wrong in the movie.
Yeah. I've been watching some of these like videos by a guy who's he's like an engineer of some kind,
Hmm.
and he's tearing apart every science fiction movie. And I was like, "Oh no!" I just watched one that he was talking about Dune. You know, the aircraft that look like like dragonflies. And so he's talking about how big the wings would have to be, what they'd be made
Oh,
of,
right.
and like that thing wouldn't actually be flying, and you
Yeah,
know, and Paul Atreides is dead because of this, and then like he's tearing apart Marvel stuff too. It's
yeah.
like, oh, this
Well,
point Tony
hey,
Stark is dead, and this point Tony
in
Stark is dead.
in the Masters of the Universe movie, they had these Roton vehicles chasing the Talon fighter
Yeah,
and like cutting into the back of it.
yeah,
Listen, a Roton would never be able to keep up with the Talon fighter. So that was dead wrong because the
yeah.
Talon fighter, I'm trying to get my finger pointing in the right way. The Talon fighter can fly through time and space.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
This can chop things up, but it can't fly through time and
That's
space.
hilarious. That's funny.
um,
Yeah.
I did have one more work story, just real
Okay. Yeah.
quick. Is we had talked about some of my slower years and relying on side jobs or just when things were slow I mean after in 2010 I spent some time on unemployment just because things were so slow after those
Yeah.
recession years. um no, up here in Canada I got to a point that was a really good feeling. It also stressed me out because I had to figure out, I had to make a decision, but it was very rewarding. I had spent uh I had I had worked for a couple years up here under my first work visa
Hmm.
for a couple years, basically doing what initially, DreamWorks sent me up here to help get a department um, up and running and supervise that work and some of the local sound studio and supervising post up here, similar to what I was doing down there,
Hmm.
and did that. We finished that initial series. um, over over COVID, I kind of went back and forth between doing remote working directly for DreamWorks versus local stuff for Doberman Pictures up here.
Hmm.
And then it got to a point where I had the opportunity. DreamWorks gave me an opportunity to move back down to LA and join their main campus down there. And their campus, by the way, is beautiful.
Oh, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Amazing place to eat with or to work and walk through and eat, and free lunches and yeah, just beautiful different ponds and waterfalls and
Wow.
gardens and walkways all and fountains all over the place. um and just very creative buildings and teams and everything.
Mm.
Also, Doberman Pictures up here. Initially I was sort of thrust upon them because otherwise they would have been happy hiring a Canadian, but we really got along well
Mm.
and grew a love for working together, and
Mm.
so they offered me the option of staying with them and that they would help sponsor me in getting my permanent residency up here, renewing my work visa until that got approved,
Mhm.
and they were a huge help in that. But I mean, before I got my permanent residency, it was I had to make little decisions between jobs before, but there it was always so obvious. It was
Mhm.
always, you know, exciting job with something that I wanted to do, or this thing over here that wasn't exciting. Like if I had ever had an option, it was like that. And this is the first time where it was like both of those would have been great opportunities. And I was making the pros and cons list for both of them, and the the resume side felt like DreamWorks would be the right opportunity. Plus, I had a great relationship with DreamWorks after all these years, and I knew I would fit in there. But I also loved Doberman, and I loved the my time here in Canada, and
Mhm.
up here would be a lot of fun. And there was no right answer, and
Mhm.
so there was this moment where it's like, gosh, this is the first time that I get to make a really big decision between two really great options. And it stressed me out for like a
Oh,
week.
I bet.
And we're being a person of faith
Mhm.
and everything too. I just felt this freedom of just in praying about it, and that God was kind of saying, you choose, do what
Yeah.
you want and honor the work that you choose to do, but
Yeah.
that's your decision. Take some ownership with it.
Ah,
And
man. Good.
I decided to stay up here and work with Doberman another few years, and now I'm doing freelance from up here, but yeah, I mean, and it felt really validating. Again, either of those options would have felt validating and good, and would have been great, but no regrets about staying up here. It's been great. The other shows I worked on with Doberman were great. Right now I'm working with I'm well, last year I worked with a studio called Studio Mashi, and a
Oh, that's
client.
how you pronounce it. I've had people since I posted you, I've
Yeah,
had people, like, on my LinkedIn,
Moshi.
people from Studio, I'm like, "Moshi?"
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at my looking at my profile.
They're from Australia, and
Oh,
so to me it sounds like they're saying Mashi, but
yeah.
also I know sometimes the way that I say words, people think I'm pronouncing them strangely. So I think it's Mashi, unless I'm just hearing an Australian accent.
Yeah, I don't know. They
Yeah,
say
yeah.
no like "nar," so I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
I
Um,
have cousins in Australia, they say "nar."
yeah. So,
"Nar."
but our client is Mr. Beast here. So
That's sick, man.
so
That's so
yeah, yeah.
awesome, dude.
There's a season on YouTube of a Mr. Beast animated series called Mr. Beast Lab, and
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Beast Labs, and I got to work on that, and
Man.
um, so yeah, check that out if any of you
Yeah,
know who Mr. Beast is or want to
yeah.
see him as an
He's like
animated character.
Yeah, he's
And
like one of the most successful, social media
YouTubers. Yeah,
YouTubers, yeah, ever.
yeah,
So, we've gone over an hour again,
yeah, yeah.
man.
But but that's
So,
it. Like that's everything. We got through
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
that's great. I before we sign off, I wanna know if somebody is trying to I probably asked you this question before, but maybe we'll get a different answer. But, either way, it'll be helpful. If somebody's trying to get into, you know, post-production or film, TV, animation, whatever the case may be, if
Yeah.
somebody's trying to get into it and doesn't know where to start,
Mhm.
where's a good starting point?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Depending on where, depending on stage of life someone is at, like if I'm talking to high school or college students,
Hmm.
internships. Look
Right.
for
Yeah.
internships. So many studios have internships. Some of them, I mean, check with your schools too, because sometimes schools have a hookup
Yep.
with whether it be networking groups or with specific studios. Yeah, look for internships to get in there and work a little bit and learn a little bit about the things that happen there. That's more general for film, TV, animation, something like that in general. In terms of post production, I mean, I started in pre production and then kind of worked my way through different different departments and landed in post, and that just ended up being the area that I liked and focused on.
Hmm.
But post is everything that happens after the animation,
Hmm.
after the filming of stuff, and it's working with the sound teams, the edit teams, sometimes with the special effects or visual effects teams, and distribution teams, and international, and QC, and seizure tests to find out if anything's causing seizures.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, yeah, uh, whether it be internships or I mean, gosh, usually if you're not if you're working in one area of production and want to shift over that, I mean, gosh, coordinator positions are great because they kind of give you usually a variety of departments to work with.
Hmm.
Um, and I would say, I mean, gosh, these things apply to a lot more than just post. I mean,
Yeah.
in general, I would say take chances. If
Yeah.
you haven't worked in post before, I mean, I took a chance.
Yeah.
I took a chance moving up to Canada. I didn't know if that was going to work. I took a chance moving from a coordinator position into a supervisor position. I didn't know if I'd be good at that or not. Um, the current job I'm working actually isn't post. I'm working with some other departments right now. Um, yeah. I mean, where I am right now, I know that I would consider post to be my expertise. Uh, other The job I'm doing now, I'm still working to my strengths. It's
Hmm.
mostly with other departments right now. But I know that career wise, um, post is my favorite. That's where I have the most experience. That's where I have the most to offer. And that's
Hmm.
what I do the most regularly. Um, but yeah, I mean, also, anytime you're working in production, you kind of have to go with the ebb and flow, and sometimes you may not always be in your favorite department.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that can be said about like other industries, other career fields.
yeah,
Really, definitely. Have definitely worked in departments I didn't want to be in, but you know, you make the most of it and you learn a
yeah.
lot. You know,
Well,
you'd
and
be
and the good thing about now is even though it's not post, I'm still working on a great project and with great departments and stuff. So it's
yeah,
it's a little bit different, and it's nice for kind of a change of scene from what I
yeah,
usually do. But yeah, I mean, I know what I do good versus what I do great
hmm,
versus what I don't do good. So
yeah,
ideally I stick with the stuff that I do great, and here and there I work with other departments where I do a pretty good job, but maybe not to the expertise that I can put in when I'm working in
Yeah,
post. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Definitely. Well, listen, man, it's been a great time having you on. A little bit
yeah,
of reminiscing and like hearing about some of the projects that you've been involved in. It's pretty cool. Really pretty cool.
yeah. Thank
You're the one person, one yeah, the one person I know that's in animation production, and that's I always hear some really cool stories out of you. But
thanks.
we're gonna have to sign off. But
Yeah.
you don't sign off yet because
Okay.
we'll talk in the
I'll
studio.
stick around. Yeah.
But yeah, everybody else, I'm gonna be out again. I've been taking these breaks. These breaks are great, like mental health breaks, like 2 weeks between episodes, sometimes a month between episodes, and it's everything's good. I think the next episode is in 2 weeks. We're gonna have Amanda Cox on here. She is a project manager, started out in education, higher education, and we're gonna hear how she made a career change. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So tune in. Until then, y'all have a great week.